Bring it on. Yeah, let's talk archaeology. You claim nothing in the Book of Mormon has archaeological verification? Oh, yes, it does. In fact, archaeology is destroying the critics' arguments. In a number of Hebrew inscriptions, they bear the name Yash. Why? I suspect that's going to be an ayin and a sheen. It's probably vocalized Yosh, which Israeli scholars have acknowledged to be the hypochoristic for the biblical name Josiah, in whose reign Jeremiah began his prophetic mission. Now again, we go back to the same age. Lehi and Jeremiah were contemporaries. But this name Josh has now been confirmed as such in the archaeological Hebrew discovered inscriptions. I think that's so fascinating. The name appears in 3 of the Lachish letters, also documents of Lehi's day, chronicling the destruction of Jerusalem by the Babylonians. Letters 2, 3, and 6 from the time of Lehi. It is also the name of 4 persons named in the 5th century BC Jewish Aramaic papyri from Elephantine. So this Josh, he is confirmed as a proper name in not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 archaeological contexts. The 4th one is the 4 of the Bulla found near Tel Beit Misrim and dating from about 600 BC bear the name Josh. 3 of them were made from the same seal. So we have an overabundance of archaeological demonstration for the proper name Josh in the Book of Mormon. And it dates in the right area, it's in the right language, and it goes to the right time. That's called perfect, folks. That's called really powerful. Lurum. Now, I've probably said this before in another video, but who in their right mind would name their kid Lurum? Lurum? What an odd name. L-U-R-A-M. And that's why critics say, oh yeah, Joseph Smith was just throwing anything he could get together to make it sound old. Does Lurum make any document sound old? That's ridiculous. That argument's silly. Let's look at the archaeological evidence, though. Fascinating. Of course, Lurum was the Nephite military leader. He served with Mormons, see Moroni 9 and 2. That's where we find Lurum. Well, the name is reflected in the second element of the name Adon Lurum, which is Lord of Lurum, from a seal from 720 BC found during excavations at Hamath in Syria. Lurum was a real name of a real person, dating back old enough for the Book of Mormon peoples to have understood. Isn't that fascinating? The name is also, now here we go again, not just once, now we have Lurum twice, archaeologically discovered. It's also known from graffiti on 3 bricks from the same level at Hama. So Lurum is a genuine Book of Mormon, archaeologically attested name. This is a real name. I think that's so fascinating how that works. Now, one of the critics' arguments that really tickles me now that I've become a Freemason, this is extremely funny. I love this. Page 49. Mathoni and Mathoniha. Now, look, no matter how you slice it, those are really weird names. I can't help it. Now, that's my modern bias coming out, you know. I suppose the ancients would have thought that Robert and Jim and Bob would have been weird too, I suppose. My name, Carrie, you know. They say in the Norwegian tongue, I read this somewhere, that my name means mysterious lover. Well, I might be a mysterious lover of knowledge, but we'll skip the other part for now. That's none of your business. Mathoni and Mathoniha, these are the names of 2 of the 12 disciples who were chosen by Jesus during his visit to the Nephites. 3 Nephi chapter 19, verse 4. You can read about him there. Now, critic Walter Prince. Oh, this is hilarious. This is going to kill you, man. Critic Walter Prince, bless his heart, he suggested an unusual derivation for the name, writing, here's what he said. He said, just lisp the sibilant and you have the entire word Mason, and almost the entire word Masonic in both of these appellations. He would have been better just to stick with the Bible. Lisp it, and then instead of Mathoni, you have Masoni, and there's the word Mason. I love it. The critics are so bloody desperate to come up with any kind of a modern theme for the Book of Mormon that they make up crap like that, and they expect us to take them seriously? Oh, sure. But let's look at the archaeology. Here we have something much more sober, somber, serious, and absolutely verified. This is fun stuff. It's on page 51. The fact that Mathoni is hypochoristic for Mathoni Ha, this reinforces the idea, actually, that the element IHA, I-H-A-H, the ending, is the Nephite form of the divine name of Jehovah. We have this confirmed in the Lachish letters, very interestingly. This being the case, Mathoni Ha would correspond to the King James version of Mattaniah, M-A-T-T-A-N-I-A-H, the birth name of Zedekiah in 2 Kings 24:17. He was king of Judah when Lehi left Jerusalem. Now I know, yeah. Oh, well, then Joseph Smith studied it from that angle and just changed it a little. You know, how genius do you think Joseph Smith, the country bumpkin boy, really was? He didn't even have time to study the Bible. There was no biblical studies, according to any of the witnesses who were being used with Joseph Smith as translators. His wife, who helped him translate, described his singular lack, and an inability of being able to spell very good. He didn't even know Jerusalem had walls. He had to stop translating and ask Emma. He goes, wait a minute. We have to go get a Bible. They didn't even have one with them, see? We have to go get a Bible because this says Jerusalem was a walled city, and I don't believe it. He didn't know that. So much for his prowess with the Bible, right? Well, anyway, several other biblical personalities bore this name. We can compare the Mathoni to the biblical Matan, M-A-T-T-A-N, the name of two different men, one of whom was a contemporary of Lehi and Jeremiah, according to Jeremiah 38:1. Note that the Hebrew letter Tav is sometimes transliterated T in the Bible, as in these names, and sometimes T-H, as in Methuselah. Now, Hugh Nibley was the first one to show that the Book of Mormon Mathoni corresponded to the biblical Mattaniah, while its biform, that is Mathoni, corresponds to the biblical Matan. He further noted that both names are found in the Elephantine Papyri, and that the longer form also occurs in the Lachish letters written just a few years after Lehi left Jerusalem. Mathoni and Mathoniha have been archaeologically discovered in the Lachish letters. That was my point. That's fascinating. Yes, it is a different form in the Bible also. It should be, because that's where it belongs, in the ancient world. And that has been confirmed archaeologically. So the theory that Joseph Smith simply made up these names by lisping is simply ridiculous. But the theory that they are archaeologically attested is absolutely proven. It's in the archaeology. Interesting, too, the Hebrew name Matanyahu appears on a 7th century BC wine decanter on 6 seals, on 7 bulla, most of them from the time of Lehi. The hypochoristic matan, MTN, which could be vocalized either matan, as in the Bible, or mathoni, as in the Book of Mormon,